and welcome to Up South, the news bulletin that you need to watch to get all the top news stories from South India. This Monday morning, I'm T.S. Sudhir, and our top focus is going to be on what has happened in Bengaluru today, where the city is going to have not one, not two, but three different municipal corporations. It's an issue that is going to concern the 1 crore citizens of India's Silicon Valley. Karnataka government has decided that it is going to trifurcate the Brihat Bengaluru Mahanagarpalika or BBMP and going to create three different municipal corporations to govern the city of Bengaluru. In fact, just a while ago, the Karnataka Assembly has passed the Karnataka Municipal Corporation Amendment Bill. Now, the government's contention is that it was an unwieldy body and that it's difficult to govern effectively and that it was part of the Congress manifesto to trifurcate the BBMP. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah even pointed out that the BJP, which is opposing it now, had also promised to trifurcate the BBMP. The criticism, however, is that the Chief Minister is doing so only to postpone the elections, which are to be held on or before the 30th of May. This would give the Congress a breather of about 6 months, and most believe that the Congress under Siddaramaiah does not feel confident about facing the electorate of Bengaluru at the moment. Even Kannada organizations had got into the act through the day today, protesting against the move to trifurcate the BBMP. Joining me now from Bengaluru for a perspective is Food and Civil Supplies Minister of Karnataka Dinesh Gundu Rao, Rajya Sabha MP Rajiv Chandrasekhar, former BBMP Commissioner K. Jayaraj, and also our Deputy Editor Rohini Swamy will be joining me from Bengaluru. Rohini, to you first. The Karnataka Assembly has just passed the Karnataka Municipal Corporation Amendment Bill. Now, the impression was that even the Congress was a divided house as far as this particular bill was concerned. What really happened in the Assembly, the fact that it has been passed in the Assembly and now it will go to the Council?
Absolutely. There was a lot of ruckus in the Assembly today. The deliberations were taking place since morning, and just a few minutes back we have seen how that the amendment bill has been passed for the trifurcation of the BBMP. Now as we speak, as of now, the deliberations will continue in the Legislative Council. Yes, there have been opposition that has been coming from the opposition itself, that is the BJP and JDS put together, and they have been saying the trifurcation should not take place, in spite of the fact that the BJP did try to move for the trifurcation when they were in power here. Even the Congress, within the Congress also, there were divided opinions. There were a lot of people who do feel that the people of Karnataka have not been spoken to. Representatives in the Congress also say that they feel that the BBMP should have been the way it is, because Bangalore will lose its brand value. End of the day, it was one corporation that people, especially when they're trying to invest in Bangalore, will be looking up to. But now they'll be looking at three corporations. And another point also that they're raising is that the fact that the trifurcation also may turn out to be unwieldy as it is already as a one solid as BBMP as it was till a few days ago.
Right. Rohini, that's a very valid point that you make. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, why do you think that the move to trifurcate the BBMP at this particular point in time is only with an eye to postpone the elections in Bengaluru?
They are using trifurcation as a reason to postpone the elections and try and delay the election, because that is the only way you can delay the BBMP elections. There is absolutely no debate, discussion about the merits or demerits of the trifurcation that have been put forth by the government. As you know, the timing also of this only leads to the further strengthening of the perception that this is all about politics, and it's about essentially trying to create a situation where they can be in a better position to win the elections, rather than currently where they have done very little by way of reforms and very little for the city.
Right. Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao, you heard what Rajiv Chandrasekhar has to say. Most people in Bengaluru believe that what you have done, your decision to trifurcate, reeks of political opportunism, because basically you are scared to face the elections in India's Silicon Valley.
See, this is an unfounded argument. To trifurcate or to make it into 2 or make it into 4 was a decision which was part of our manifesto. It was a pre-poll promise, number 1. And we've appointed a committee to look into this. They have given us an interim report. So then after that, we have come out with this act now, which is being discussed in the Assembly. In fact, we had come out with an ordinance earlier also, which the governor has returned. So that's why we had to call the session and go about doing this. So this has got nothing to do with elections. And what is part of the bill is also that within 6 months we will see that this process is completed and we will hold elections. So a matter of 6 months, I don't think is going to make such a big difference in terms of facing the electorate or not. So that's not such a huge difference.
Right. Mr. K. Jayaraj, you know the BBMP better than anyone else here on this panel. The Chief Minister now is actually turning a conventional phrase on its head. He's actually saying, united we fall, divided we stand. As a former BBMP commissioner, what do you think of the government's latest move?
Our aim was to ensure that the growth impulses were spread evenly across the outlying areas of the city and that the brand Bangalore image would be enhanced with the increase in size and population. Those impressions have been belied because the fundamentals have gone wrong. Namely, there's a lack of administrative capacity, there's a lack of resources to run the entire setup, and finally, there is no broad-based visionary political or administrative leadership to drive the organization forward, which is why we have the sorry state of affairs today.
Rajiv Chandrasekhar, now the Congress government's logic, which they also articulated on the floor of the House today, is that a smaller body, smaller municipal corporation will actually mean more decentralization, better delivery of services, more power to local ward committees. Now, that on paper does sound very logical, doesn't it?
It is an absolutely illogical argument, Sudhir, and for one simple reason. The wards, there are 198 wards. The smallest administrative unit in this BBMP is a ward. The objective of the government should have been to take governance and public services to each of the 198 wards, as people like me have been saying since 2010. Now, by bifurcating the BBMP into 3 large superstructures, what you only create is 3 political enclaves and 3 expensive governance superstructures where the underlying wards remain the same. So there is no evidence, empirical data or any other evidence that has been presented that by bifurcating BBMP, which already consists of 198 small administrative units,
right,
you are actually, or trifurcating it rather, you are actually going to improve the delivery of services and funds.
Right. Mr. Jayaraj, you have headed this body. You also are hearing that it is being called an unwieldy body. I asked the same question what I asked Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Wouldn't smaller bodies actually mean better delivery of services to the citizens of Bengaluru?
Under certain circumstances, it would be better, provided the fundamentals hold, which is, again, to repeat, you must have good, solid administrative capacity in the civic body. You must have resources to run the civic body. And finally, there must be good all-round political and administrative leadership. If you don't have that, as I suspect there will be the case, then you're multiplying the problems rather than resolving them.
Mr. Dinesh Gundurao, the main criticism that one is hearing from Bengalurans is that there has been no proper public debate on this entire trifurcation issue. The Bengalurans do not know what it actually entails on the ground.
Already the committee has been going around, which has been appointed by the government, discussing with the stakeholders, discussing with many residents, committees and organizations, discussing with a lot of NGOs. So they already have done a lot of engagement, and they've have come out with an interim report. Now they will be coming out with the final report also. So what this act enables us is to see that more discussions take place, and we will bring it to the notice of the people. But ultimately, the Congress government is very clear that this BBMP, as of today, the way it's functioning, it's not functioning the way it should. And we need to divide this corporation and to make it into smaller units so that we can give better local self-government.
Right. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, those from Bengaluru who would be tuning into this program would want to know, how does it change my life as a citizen of Bengaluru? Now, please enlighten, do you think that this is going to be a lose-lose situation? And more importantly, does Bengaluru lose its A-class status?
So, Sudhir, what I am saying is fundamentally this, which is that elections have to be held. This process of whether it should be trifurcated, and trifurcation means better governance, is for a government to persuade and convince people. But you cannot have a bland argument of a trifurcation being better than the current model, where you have done nothing to improve the current model, and use that as an argument to delay elections. And why are elections very important? Elections are important because people have the right to say, my corporator in ward number X has done a good job or has not done a good job, was a crook or was an honest public servant. This is an opportunity that has been given to a citizen under the Constitution. Now, whatever is the argument that you can make for reforms, you cannot violate the Constitution. And you cannot justify public interest as a reason to violate the Constitution. If that was the case, Manmohan Singh did Colgate using public interest. A. Raja did Telecom 2G quoting public interest. Now there is trifurcation also being used for public interest to violate yet another aspect of law, which is the right to vote and the right of referendum on an elected city council.
Right, Dinesh Gundurao, most government employees, especially who are working and living in Bengaluru, they fear that they will stand to lose the perks and the benefits if Bengaluru lose the A-class city status. Can you assure them that that will not happen?
No, that has already been cleared by Chief Secretary also has made a statement that there is no question of Bangalore losing its A-class city. Bangalore as a city will be one, but different corporations. Even earlier we had a Bangalore corporation with about 8 municipalities which are part of BBMP today, which was earlier 8 municipalities. So this is not going to affect the A-class category of Bangalore city. That will continue. I think this is completely unfounded, and there will be no issue concerning that. And we will remain to be an A-class city, and Bangalore is definitely one of the most important cities of India.
Right, Rohini, it's quite interesting that the Karnataka government actually admitting in the House that the BBMP, which has been functioning since 2006, has been a colossal failure, that it has not been able to actually govern as a local government, as a local city government, Bengaluru quite effectively. Isn't that quite a big admission to make for the Karnataka Congress government?
Absolutely, and the fact that they have gone ahead and said on the floor of the House itself shows certain kind of problems that they have faced, and they have been time and again saying it's too big a corporation, it's very unwieldy. The point is that is being made time and again by critics is that if the administration was fine, then any kind of corporation could have been handled in a better way. And the point is that trifurcation is not the answer to it, but yes, now it has already happened. The amendment bill has already been passed. Now it is also for effective administration to take place in the 3 different corporations that will be formed. But an admission by the Karnataka government at this point of time will definitely leave the government red-faced, and also the fact that we have also seen how the Siddaramaiah government has to try to prove its point time and again, and it will not show very well in his report card.
Right, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, now if this bill has gone through the assembly, it will now go to the council. Now what will happen is that we are going to have a situation where we have 3 mayors for Bengaluru, 3 deputy mayors for Bengaluru, 3 municipal corporation commissioners for Bengaluru. Now, does this city really need to create that kind of political employment?
We have 198 wards in the city. What should be required is today how to move money to each of the 198 wards, how to deliver services to the 198 wards, how to make citizens much more responsible for the development of each of the 198 wards, get citizens more involved in the governance of each of the 198 wards. Now, none of this is happening. None of the difficult governance reform issues are being discussed. The people are being distracted with a completely unjustified, unsubstantiated discussion on trifurcation, and in the process you are basically telling them, forget the constitution, we will have elections when we believe we want to have elections.
Mr. Jairaj, are we making the entire situation more complicated instead of making it simple in order to deliver services more efficiently? Are we kind of in the process of making it simple for the citizens, making the entire situation extremely complicated?
Well, whether the city requires it or not, the administrative expenses are not manifold. You can manage them, provided you expand the resource base. For instance, in Bangalore, according to our estimate, we can collect property taxes of about 8 to 9,000 crores of rupees, as against the current collection of about 2,500 crores. Similarly, there has to be greater devolution of resources to the civic bodies. So I'm not worried as much about the administrative and other expenses as about the capacity of these civic bodies which will be formed to deliver and to ensure public services of a high order.
It's really the optics that really matters, Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao. The point that I was making with Rajiv Chandrasekhar, now your 198 ward committees should really be the last mile of delivery of services to the citizens. But as I said, instead you are creating more posts of more mayors and deputy mayors and municipal commissioners and the paraphernalia. Is it really required for a city like Bengaluru?
See, the idea of dividing our corporation is to make it more accountable to the people. In fact, it will not just divide the corporation, but we are also going to be empowering our ward committees. We are also going to see that how people can become more involved in the administration of the corporation. So, a mayor and a deputy mayor is not going to make so much of a difference, but the government should become closer to the people. Today, the last experience we've had with BBMP, it speaks for itself. You know, the amount of problems and the lack of accountability, corruption, scandals, and you know, there have been numerous instances which has been reported by the media itself. So BBMP itself, I think, is facing such a problem. It's facing a crisis situation of trust amongst the people. So this reorganization of BBMP is to re-establish that trust and bring the corporation closer to the people, make it more people friendly. That's the concept, and that's what we're working towards.
Right. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, when we discussed before the Karnataka elections in May 2013, one of the points that we made was that 50% of these 198 corporators come from a real estate background, and that's really messing up the city's development in a big way. Perhaps we could look at this chance of actually trifurcating as an opportunity to do some kind of a cleanup in Bengaluru civic body.
And I completely agree, Sudhir, that this is exactly the time that we need to look at how our MLAs, how our MPs and how our corporators are exploiting the city. That is why we need elections. That is why in 2014 a government in Delhi got thrown out. Imagine if in 2014 somebody turned around and said, no, let us delay the elections for an opportune moment. That is exactly why the people of Bengaluru have to be given an opportunity to say, we don't like the corporators who served us, we don't like the crooked corporators who were exploiting the city, we want to throw them out. If you don't give them this opportunity, where is the issue of passing judgment on these same crooks that you and I have spoken about many months ago? There is a need for reforms, but more than that, we need good people to come into elected city politics.
Right, absolutely. We need good people to come into politics and to be elected by the people of Bengaluru. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, K. Jayaraj, Dinesh Gundu Rao and Rohini Swamy, thanks a lot for joining us on this debate on this very important day when the decision to trifurcate Bengaluru's municipal body was taken. Thanks a lot for joining us on Up South.